Hey everyone, welcome back to yet another marvelous video. There are some movie franchises that just refuse to stay buried, and The Mummy is one of them. After years of rumors, false starts, and fan speculation, the long-dormant adventure series is finally stirring again. Whispers of ancient curses, returning stars, and a brand new creative team have sent fans straight back into nostalgia. But what exactly is going on with The Mummy 4? Who's coming back? Who's behind the camera? And what kind of story could this long-awaited sequel be telling? Please sit back and enjoy as we dive into everything we know about this movie so far. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Release date. So guys, it's finally happening. The Mummy 4 is officially on the way. 17 years after Tomb of the Dragon Emperor closed out the trilogy in 2008, Universal is giving this legendary adventure another shot. And honestly, fans have been waiting for this moment for a long time. The Mummy of 1999 was a huge hit. It had a lot of action, adventure, genuinely funny scenes, and a ton of heart. But what everyone really enjoyed in these films was Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. The way they played Rick and Evelyn just worked. They didn't feel like movie characters, they felt like real people caught up in something bigger than themselves. You wanted them to win, to survive, to end up together. That's the kind of magic that made fans keep asking for another adventure, even after all these years. With Brendan Fraser's career back in full swing after The Whale 2022, it makes total sense that Universal wants to bring him and Weisz back for one more run. There's still no confirmed release date, but the excitement alone says it all. After nearly 2 decades, The Mummy 4 could finally bring that old-school adventure magic back to life. Director and creative team. Universal is playing this one smart. They've handed the movie over to Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette, better known as the Radio Silence duo. You probably know them from Ready or Not and the recent Scream films, and while they haven't tackled a globe-trotting adventure like The Mummy before, they've proven they know how to mix thrills, tension, and fun. These two are part of the Radio Silence team, alongside producer Chad Villella, and their style is all about fast pacing, sharp humor, and a strong horror streak, exactly the kind of energy a new Mummy movie needs. Universal could have gone with any director, but choosing this team suggests they're aiming to bring the series back to its spooky adventure roots, rather than just making it another big-budget action flick. The script is being written by David Cogshaw, the screenwriter behind Prey 2019 and The Family Plan 2023. He even confirmed himself on X, saying, "Cat's out of the bag, I guess," after Deadline broke the news in November 2025. So, between a creative horror-savvy directing team and a writer with solid experience in genre storytelling, The Mummy 4 might strike the perfect balance between eerie and exciting, exactly what fans have been craving. The cast. Now this is where things really start to get exciting for the sequel. Universal being in talks about bringing The Mummy back with its original stars isn't just a smart move, it's precisely what fans have wanted for so long. Seeing Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz return together would feel like the heart of the franchise has finally been brought back to life. Brendan Fraser's return as Rick O'Connell would be a no-brainer. He's the soul of the series. He's the charming, tough, and slightly clumsy hero who always finds himself knee-deep in curses, mummies, and all the chaos going on. But the real surprise, and honestly the thing that has fans most excited, is Rachel Weisz returning as Evelyn Carnahan. Getting her on board again would be huge, because let's be real, the first 2 movies worked so well because of their chemistry. Rick and Evie weren't just treasure hunters, they were the emotional center of the story. Their banter, their love, and the way they faced danger together made those movies unforgettable. Weisz didn't show up in The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor back in 2008. At the time, she had just become a new mom and was not happy with the direction of the script and the shoot schedule. The studio recast her role with Maria Bello. And while the movie had some fun ideas, it just didn't feel right. Without the original duo, the movie lost a bit of its magic. And it's not just nostalgia driving this. Rachel Weisz's return after nearly 25 years is a big deal for another reason. She rarely comes back for sequels. Seriously, if you take a look at her career, from The Favorite 2018 to Black Widow 2021, she's known for moving from one unique project to the next. The last time she appeared in a sequel was The Bourne Legacy in 2012, which was technically more of a reboot than a follow-up. So seeing her return to The Mummy, the series that helped launch her to international fame, is both unexpected and incredibly special. As for Brendan Fraser, his return feels almost poetic. After his Oscar-winning comeback in The Whale, fans have been rooting for him to revisit one of his most beloved roles. He's spoken fondly about the franchise and even voiced support for a proper sequel, while also calling out the 2017 Mummy reboot, the one with Tom Cruise, for losing the sense of fun and adventure that made the originals work. That version tried to launch a whole dark universe, but ended up collapsing before it even got off the ground. So now, with both Fraser and Wise back, The Mummy 4 feels like a genuine second chance, not just for the franchise, but for the kind of adventure movies Hollywood doesn't make much anymore. Probable plot and connection to previous films. Right now, Universal is keeping The Mummy 4 under wraps. Still, there's already enough information floating around to give fans a pretty good idea of what kind of adventure might be waiting. With Radio Silence directors Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette steering the ship, one thing seems certain: this is not going to be a copy of the old formula. These two made a name for themselves with how they handled both Ready or Not and the Scream revival, and both of those movies showed how well they can balance thrills, scares, and character-driven storytelling. So if they're bringing that same energy here, we're in for something that's both nostalgic and genuinely creepy. This is actually exciting because the Mummy franchise has always had this perfect blend of action and horror, gunfights and curses, romance and the undead. The 1999 original leaned heavily on adventure and charm, while The Mummy Returns took things up a notch with bigger set pieces and mythology. By contrast, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor shifted the story to China and lost some of that Egyptian mystique fans love so much, and that's why The Mummy 4 is taking a very different approach. Some reports suggest the new film will altogether skip over Tomb of the Dragon Emperor as if it never happened. It's basically doing a soft reboot, picking up the story after The Mummy Returns. It's the same kind of reset that worked for other revived franchises like Halloween 2018 and Terminator Dark Fate, cutting away the weaker parts to get back to what made people love the series in the first place. Suppose that this is the direction they're going. In that case, it means we're getting the true continuation fans have been waiting decades for, and that Universal has a clean slate to work with. No baggage, no awkward continuity, just a return to what made this series special in the first place. The story itself is still under tight wraps, but the return of Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz hints that this will be a true continuation of Rick and Evelyn O'Connell's journey. After everything they survived in the first two movies, resurrected priests, armies of the dead, and the Scorpion King, it's likely that The Mummy 4 will revisit the same kind of high-stakes supernatural adventure, only with a more mature cast. Imagine Rick and Evelyn years later, possibly drawn back into another curse or ancient mystery they thought was long buried. Another major change this time around: don't expect any attempts to build a shared cinematic universe. The 2017 reboot completely missed the point of what made The Mummy fun in the first place. It was too focused on setting up other monster movies instead of telling a good standalone story. Universal seems to have learned that lesson. The Mummy 4 doesn't need to tie into anything else, it just needs to tell a great story about these characters we already know and love. There's also been talk about the film leaning more into its horror roots, which makes sense with Radio Silence in charge. Their work on Scream proved they can revive an old franchise without losing what made it iconic. They respect the legacy of a franchise while also keeping things fresh. So instead of too much CGI or unnecessary world building, we might get to see something that's small in scale but rich in tone. As of now, there are no confirmed synopses or timeline, but the direction seems clear. With Rick and Evelyn back in the mix and a creative team that knows how to blend fear with fun, this could be the resurrection fans have been waiting for. Marvelous verdict. Well, with that, guys, we've come to the end of yet another fun video. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think ignoring Tomb of the Dragon Emperor is the right move? What kind of story do you want to see for Rick and Evelyn this time around? And do you think The Mummy 4 can really capture that old school adventure magic again? Let us know what you think down in the comments, and while you're there, tell me your favorite moment from the original Mummy movies. If you enjoyed watching this video, do remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more. Thanks for watching. Until next time.